Hi creators, welcome back to Academic Phoenix Plus. My name is Monica and I'm your guide through UV mapping. And this video is going to be about UV mapping our cat cafe. I know that UV mapping is not very exciting, so in this video tutorial is going to be a speed run. That means that I'm just going to go ahead and crank this up by 2 times the speed and just let it run. If you need any help with UV mapping, please take a look at all my videos. I have a UV mapping playlist that can help you out with the basics of UV mapping and more advanced. So take a look at that. Otherwise, you're going to see me using plenty of similar tools such as planar mapping, cylindrical mapping, automatic mapping, unfolding, stitching, sewing, so on and so forth. And of course, textile density and then UV layout. Sit back and relax, and here is a video on UV mapping all of the assets in this cafe. It took me about 1.5 hours. I do consider myself pretty proficient in UV mapping, so it was, for me, it wasn't too bad. I do enjoy UV mapping. I have a tendency to put on my headphones, turn on some music, and just crank it out. It does take time, but creating a whole set in 1.5 hours, not too bad. I know a lot of people struggle with UV mapping, but once you understand the basics of UV mapping, it really makes it a lot easier. Once you figure out your methodology, then you're going to be able to just continue using the same skills over and over. So for example, for a very long time, I never used automatic mapping, but when it comes to hard surface objects, it's actually really great. So you'll see me using automatic mapping in a lot of the hard surface objects. I avoid using automatic mapping in things that are more organically shaped. So for example, the leaves, or if I was doing a character, or if I was doing anything organic based, then I would definitely not use automatic mapping because it would create too many pieces. But overall, when it comes to hard surface objects such as the chairs or the bar or the shelves or the signage, all of that can easily be used with automatic mapping, and then you stitch. The more you practice this skill, the more you're going to find out ways that you can quickly UV map. When it comes to more spherical shapes, I know there's a spherical UV mapping option, but I never use it because it produces some really weird stretching. You'll see me do organic models. I have a tendency to use planar mapping, and then I will cut the edges around it, split it, flip it, and then sew it together. That has been my most successful when it comes to organic modeling, and you'll see that when I create the leaf, when I UV map the leaves. Basically what I'm trying to say is that keep practicing UV mapping. I know it's a beast, it's a necessary beast. Maybe AI would actually be helpful and help us out with this, but overall, this is one of the reasons why we get paid, the big bucks, is because we have to be able to UV map this and do things that are uncomfortable, because if the UV map doesn't look good, then your textures aren't going to look good, and if your textures don't look good, then your animation or game or visual effects shot isn't going to look good. So it's definitely important. This step is very important. I do compare UV mapping like painting weights. Like painting weights can be really brutal, and it takes a lot of patience, and people want to throw their computers out the window, but eventually you start kind of finding it very relaxing. I find it very relaxing. I always encourage my students to turn on a candle, maybe a lavender candle, and turn on some nice slow music and just kind of go with the flow so that it's a relaxing thing for you. For me, it's so repetitive that I kind of find it almost numbing, but there's something relaxing about that. Cutting, stitching together, flipping, unfolding, and you just do the same things over and over and over to get results, then it becomes very simple and very repetitive, and in a way very relaxing. I almost parallel it to when I go swimming. I used to do triathlons before my little one, and I used to go swimming, and at first it was a struggle, just like UV mapping. Struggling, trying to breathe, trying to swim. It's like running by holding your breath. I was like, swimming is really challenging. But when I started getting better and better at swimming, I started to zone out, and then I started to think about things, and then swimming became very natural to me. It's just really nice, really relaxing, and I'm not trying to be competitive, right? So if I was doing competitive swimming, then I would be like, okay, is my, are my legs this, or my stroke correct, or my arms are this, and like I'd be thinking about that. But when it comes to just swimming for the sake of exercising, then I actually kind of relax, and it's a really nice thing, and my mind will just kind of wander, and I will just kind of continue with the strokes. So I would say UV mapping is similar in that sense. I kind of went off a tangent there, but the point is that UV mapping is very relaxing to me. I find it to be very repetitive, and therefore once it becomes repetitive and comfortable, then I can actually start thinking about other things. But again, at the beginning, this was one of the most challenging things to learn was UV mapping. always has been challenging, and it takes a while to get comfortable with it. So the only way you can get comfortable with it is by practicing it. So keep practicing, you're gonna get it, it's gonna be great, and then once you get it, your textures are gonna look great, and it's really important. In the next video tutorial, we're gonna be talking about texturing and how I'm gonna bring it into Substance Painter. I'm gonna have a lot of maps because a lot of my objects are in separate UV shells, or if you want to have a large map with multiple items, that's another way you can tackle texturing a set like this. But I'm really excited because once the UV mapping is done, the texturing comes in, and then once the texturing comes in, that's when you can really tell a story. You can tell a story about the 3D models, you can tell a story about what's happening in this cafe. Is it new? Is it old? Is it modern? Is it green? Is it blue? You know, it's gonna be fun. So the texturing part is the trophy after the UV map. So I just wanted to kind of bring that in and let you guys know that it's okay if you struggle. It's okay for you to get upset about it, but just remember that the end result is going to be great, because once you have your UVs, you can texture it, and then you're going to have something really nice and professional. And also remember that everything out there is UV mapped. Every model that you see, unless you're using procedural shading, but most objects are UV mapped. So every character that you see, every vehicle that you see, every weapon that you see, every landscape that you see, all of it is UV mapped. So it's a skill that definitely is really important to know, understand, and use. So keep practicing, you can get it. It does take practice though. That being said, I'm going to go ahead and let this keep going. I do appreciate you watching. Thank you so much. I hope this inspires you to keep creating, never stop, and always create what you find inspiring and beautiful. As you've noticed, I sometimes create cute things, sometimes I create more sci-fi things, depends what the mood I'm in, but I've been feeling the itch of creating a cat cafe for a while, and I thought, you know, an isometric model would be really fun. So that's why I decided to do this series, is because I really wanted to create something new, something different for my channel, and something cute, and something that I think a lot of people should know how to do. Very stylized, super fun. Alright guys, thank you for listening to me. Let me know if you have any questions. Leave a comment below if you have any type of comments or questions. And don't forget to take a look at academicphoenixplus.com. There you can find free resources such as ebooks, models, so much more. And you can also find e-courses. So if you're interested in diving into Maya a little bit further, then take a look at my e-courses. Please share my videos. It really helps me out. It also helps me keep these videos free and keep them coming. So please like, share, and subscribe. Oh yeah, don't forget to link me to your social media. If my tutorials have helped you and you post things on social media, I would love to see your work. It's always really great to see how my tutorials help strangers in the internet. That's what I find fascinating about YouTube and everything, is that according to the YouTube data, people from all over the world watch my videos. So it's really incredible to know that I'm helping people from all over the world that may not have access to education, things like that. So it's another reason why I'm very much into equity and about making sure that people get the resources that they need to be successful, even when they don't have the means. So that's another reason why I would really appreciate you guys liking, sharing, commenting on my videos, so that I can continue doing this and spreading the word. In the next video tutorial, I will be going over how to texture this. I'm going to be doing some basic shading, and then I'm going to bring it into Substance Painter for final texturing. So it's exciting. That's the whole purpose of UV mapping, is to actually get it ready for texturing. So that's always fun. And then of course lighting, and then the final render. Enjoy this accelerated video of UV mapping. Keep creating, and I will see you next time.